We see the traffic light in yellow at the start and it turns red, which is likely trying to foreshadow that something bad is going to happen to one or both of the two girls, and that should stop going wherever they are going next. The director's intention is to foreshadow that some kind of chaotic event is going to happen in the near future. Then it cuts to an establishing shot which defines the general location of the scene that follows. The director's intention is just to show to the audience where the girls are at the moment. Before we continue, let's identify the girl on the left as girl A and the girl on the right as girl B.
You're lucky I'm just coming off an injury. Otherwise, it would have been over.
Don't make excuses. I killed you. It wasn't even close.
Then we see the two girls walking side by side, walking towards the camera. This shot is a shallow focus shot in which the depth of field is limited so that two girls who are subjects are in crisp focus, henceforth creating emphasis on the subjects. The shot starts out as a medium full shot and gets closer and closer. At the end of the shot, it has become a tight medium shot. This shot is an objective shot because we are seeing girl A and girl B as if we are observing them, not from any character's point of view. The director's intention was to show what is happening in the shot clearly.
Promise you won't beat me again, though.
After that, I don't need to play you again.
It cuts to another angle which shows girl B entering the shop. This shot is also a shallow focus shot, creating emphasis on girl B. It starts out as a tight medium shot and becomes a loose close-up shot. It's an objective shot for the same reason that was stated earlier. The director's intention in this shot was also just to convey what is happening in the shot clearly and create emphasis on girl B in the shot. Most of the shots after this point are medium or medium close-up shots, so the proxemics won't be talked about until deemed absolutely necessary for the rest of the analysis.
I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. You want some?
Nah, I gotta get home.
And then it cuts to a shot where girl A is walking away from the shop. Once again, a shallow focus shot. This shot is a subjective shot because we are seeing girl A from girl B's point of view. The director's intention in this shot was to convey that girl A is the main subject of interest and to show what is happening in the shot clearly.
Hey, Bree.
It cuts back to girl B who calls girl A. This is a subjective shot.
You're a good ball player.
Then we see another subjective shot where girl A turns her head back to girl B, which is also a shallow focus shot. It then cuts to another subjective over the shoulder shot from girl A's point of view, in which we see a good example of the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds dictates that the subject should be in the left third of the image, and in most people shots, the main line of interest is the line going through the eyes. According to the rule of thirds, the eyes of the subject are meant to be slightly on top, on, or slightly under the first horizontal line. In this shot, the eyes are placed approximately 1/3 of the way down the frame. The purpose of making the audience focus on girl B's eyes is so that she can be seen feeling bad for girl A. This could mean that she's gonna say something that'll make girl A feel better. It's a great example of the rule of thirds because it follows all the rules and makes for an effective shot. Let's move on to the analysis of the rest of the scene.
But you and I both know who's starting next game.
Then it cuts back to another subjective shot from girl B's point of view, where girl A shrugs off what girl B has said. This was also a shallow focus shot meant to emphasize the subject, which is girl A. Then we see girl A walk away, and it cuts back to a shot of girl B entering the shop. Throughout this entire dialogue at the entrance of the shop, the 180-degree rule is followed throughout. The 180-degree rule dictates that two characters or more in a scene should always have the same left-right relationship with each other. Here's a visual to help understand the 180-degree rule. Let's move back to the analysis. After girl B enters the shop, it cuts to a tracking shot that shows girl A walking home from the front. In this shot, the camera is moving backwards. Next, it cuts to another tracking shot, but this time it is from the back. In this shot, the camera is moving forwards with the subject. In both of these tracking shots, there is a bit of camera shake. This shake has been done on purpose since it is not present in any of the other shots. It has been done likely to foreshadow an event in the near future that will be chaotic. At the end of the second tracking shot from the back, two gunshots can clearly be heard, which causes Girl A to look back at the shop. The camera then cuts to the shop entrance and cuts back quickly to the same angle from which the tracking shot from the back ended in. And then suddenly we hear another gunshot, and so due to this, Girl A hides behind a car nearby. The movement of Girl A running to hide behind the car is a pan shot, where the camera stays in the same position but tilts to follow the subject in the shot. Here is a visual to help you understand the pan shot. Let's get back to the analysis. The pan shot ends with her hiding behind a car and then it zooms into her face, transitioning to a close-up shot. At this point, background music has begun to play, which is likely being created using a tambourine. The background music is used to create suspense. At the end of the background music, it will be discussed in further detail. The director wants to use the background music to build suspense so that the audience keeps on paying attention and stays interested in what happens next, engaging them in an effective way. It cuts back to the shop entrance, which is a subjective shot from Girl A's point of view. In the shot, we see a man running away, which the audience will assume to be the man who shot the gunshots. It then cuts back to the same zoomed angle of Girl A's face. It then cuts to a half-arc shot of the shop owner. This shot reveals the shop owner in a way that builds suspense. After the half-arc shot, it then cuts to a scared Girl A who has just frozen after seeing the dead shopkeeper. In this shot, we see another great near-perfect example of the rule of thirds that follows all the things stated earlier, with the eyes right above the first horizontal line. The director's intention here by building suspense was to keep the audience engaged in the short film. It then cuts to a shot where she walks to another aisle of the shop in the back and then she just freezes in her position. This is a medium close-up shot. The director is hiding what's in front of Girl A to build up suspense for the next shot, henceforth building excitement in the audience's minds. It then cuts to a subjective knee-level shot from Girl A's point of view, which shows Girl B on the ground who is bleeding out. She is holding her stomach to stop the blood flow. The shot is shot from a high angle to convey to the audience that Girl B is the inferior person in the situation. The director has purposely hid Girl A's reaction to Girl B getting shot so as to keep us interested in the rest of the short film. It also makes us extremely curious about her reaction and what she does after she sees Girl B bleeding out on the floor. This lack of a reaction makes our imagination start to think and consider all the possibilities. Did she just leave her competitor there, or did she save her by calling an ambulance? Next, it cuts to a shot where the camera is outside the shop shooting Girl A, who is inside the shop through the transparent door entrance. In the shot, Girl A is on her phone, likely calling an ambulance or other emergency services. In the shot, she can clearly be seen contemplating what to do, whether she should just call an ambulance or to just leave the situation entirely. She even looks outside the transparent door, likely to see if there's anybody nearby. The lack of words and the lack of expressions on Girl A's face makes us incredibly curious about what's going through her mind, keeping us engaged and excited for what happens next. Finally, it zooms out of the last shot into an establishing shot with girl A still inside the shop, still contemplating what to do. In the final establishing shot, these two traffic lights can be seen. The traffic lights, one says walk and one says stop. These traffic lights signify the choices that girl A has. Should she stop and call an ambulance, or should she just go away from the scene as if nothing ever happened? This shot ends at the same time as the background music does, on one final beat. Now let's discuss the background music. Before we do, let's just take a moment and watch it through without pausing the video. The music pretty much stays the same from the start up until the shot where girl A is on her phone at the entrance of the shop. Up until this point, the music was just building a suspenseful vibe. After this, some drums begin to play. These drums start at a fast rate and gradually slow down. At the end of the music, there is just one beat and then the screen goes black. These drums sound signify girl B's heartbeat, and that final beat was likely the moment in which she died. Thank you so much for listening to this analysis.